everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Falcons going up against the Buccaneers.
Thank you, Larry. With the distinctive pirate ship in the north end zone, we can only be in one place, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded at the 2. Oh, good move. And now running right through it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his 10th season now is Matt Ryan.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
The numbers for Hill a week ago. 9 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Ryan. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the pickup, and that leads to an Atlanta 1st down.
I know they got the 1st down, but Brandon, I still don't like the call going for it there. Yeah, they got it. But I would have punted the ball there, played some field position. I mean, it's okay to end drives and kicks, right? You know, we've heard that from different guys before. Remember, a kick's either a punt, right, field goal, or a point after touchdown. It's okay to end it in a kick.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Again, Ryan. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On second down, Hill. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a higher level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now Matt Bryant, who spent 4 seasons in a Buccaneer uniform. This from 54 yards away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Coming in carrying the losing streak. Not the start that they were looking for. 3 and out on the opening drive.
So now everyone's looking at each other. And what I mean by that is who's going to make the right play? Who's going to get us out of the doldrums? Who's going to get us out of this funk that they're in right now? They've got to find someone who will make a play, create a play, and get their confidence moving in the right direction.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They clinch the top spots, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And give them a gain of 37. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now it's Ryan. Caught by Sanu. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is up on the 1st quarter. 0-0 our score. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st down, Hill trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Over the middle, complete. It's Roberts. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. So that drive 7 plays in length, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan there on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second up.
And Winston lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see where they sit, perched right at the top. The question, Charles, with a perfect season they have going, what's on the line, how do you see them playing it out these final few weeks of the season?
Well, I can see the locker room voting unanimously to play to win. That's how they're built. It doesn't matter whether you're 0 whatever or undefeated.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
SEC violation.
No doubt.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the number 1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
And that is was incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. And now running right through it. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Getting set to go again, Mohamed Sanu is marching back onto the field now. He's already approaching 100 yards and has the touchdown. I'm sure on that opposite sideline right now, they're scratching their heads saying, all right, what do we do?
And the hard part is, even if you limit him to a short catch, he has that make-you-miss ability to take it for big yardage and put in the end zone again. So trying to blanket him is very difficult, but ultimately, you've got to find a way to put him on the ground, tackle him, and he doesn't make that easy.
Well, they're struggling with that so far. They'll run on first down. Hill. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense. And they're already looking for more here as they've got it 1st and 10.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Andre Roberts, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Jameis on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down. From the gun, Winston. He finds Humphries. He got 29 yards that time.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done. It's
a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down. Not that we necessarily see this as being in the cards, but worth noting that 21 points would equal their franchise record for largest deficit overcome. Certainly plenty of work to do between now and then. Jameis to throw it. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down. Take the completion, keep moving.
Jameis again. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Jameis now on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Jaquiz Rodgers there. And that'll bring up second down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Bucs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
From the red zone now, Winston. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Second down, Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you cross-state to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley, he's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Buccaneers haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Falcons will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. It's late in the first. The catch will be made deep down the field, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 46-yard line. Later on the drive, Ryan's got the completion here, and this goes 12 yards for the score. Now after the fumble, as they get out to a 7-0 lead, it's Matt Ryan looking for the old reliable Mohamed Sanu Sr., and he finds his mark for the score. Falcons line up at the 18 as they move out in front, 14-0. Ryan's on target here, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. Just about out of time in the first half. Winston's under fire and will throw the pick. Neal's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 10 yards still left on second down.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Four down. Watch 32.
Now Rodgers. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. That's pulled in at the 32. Fancy footwork at the 45. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. As you see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here, it's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. This will be caught at about the 6. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now it's Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Andre Roberts with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So out come the Bucs now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And Winston lost the football, and the Falcons grab it, and they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit.
Watch time. Tight end right.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. A gain of 7 that time, second goal.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Here's Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Here's Bryant for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept you.
And Winston lost the football. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly, and you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change, get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now, but if this keeps up, you're going to have two very angry defenses. You want the offense to take care of the ball.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Tight end right. Watch tight end right.
Following the fumble recovery, Ryan, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
And the Falcons, they have the big lead, and you can't help but let your mind go there. You think Falcons, big lead, second half. They lost a game that they led by 25 in Super Bowl 51, as we all well remember.
And I don't think it's going to change them a whole lot in terms of their mentality, because they were an attack team. They always wanted to be on the attack. And you remember, a lot of people thought them staying on the attack maybe cost them in the Super Bowl against New England. But in this case, they definitely have learned that no lead is big enough, so I think they'll go out there with the idea of continuing to try and increase it.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Eric Saubert, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set For the fourth quarter, a very one-sided affair. The Bucs on third down. They've hit at 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready. Blue lady. Let me go.
Now Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Deion Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Falcons now. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try to keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. From the shotgun, Ryan. A dump off now to Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll make this a 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take him look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd down now, Hill. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Getting the ball here. Eddie's getting the ball. Ready. We got it.
Ryan. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So a miss on his first attempt, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
I know this will surprise you a little bit, Brandon, but you know kickers can be a fragile breed sometimes. You got to wonder what's going through his mind, but he didn't let that first miss impact him one bit.
Hey, I kicked back at Harrison High School. Are you calling my ilk soft? Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Fresh set of downs here. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
That's the way. Ready? White 25.
Winston now from the 50. Incomplete. The Bucs on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready?
Winston now. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons are going to get it at the 20. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. the practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all...
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will go out of bounds, so they will lose yards on the play. And on fourth down, of course, it'll be a turnover on downs.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
On second down, Hill gets out of a little bit of trouble there with a shifty move. He'll take it up past the 6. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, it's Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Atlanta, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we bid you good night from Tampa.